I think that is us live.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. We're just going to allow people to jump on board with us, and then I'll do the introductions. Hi, Lisa. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. We're really excited to be here today to be taking a deep dive into our newest Pollogen device that's joined the PBS family, which is our Geneo. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Julie Leverington. I'm one of the business development managers here in Queensland, and I'm joined today by our head of education, Jessica, and also our business development manager in Victoria, Leah, who is new to our team also. So we're going to be taking you through today's webinar. Do you want to say hi, girls?
Hello, excited to be here.
Yes, so looking forward to today. So a little bit of housekeeping. We do have a couple of girls in the background that are going to be keeping an eye on the chat and the questions. So just make sure if you have anything that comes up for you during the webinar that you pop that into there for me. And it's really great if you can share it with all panelists and viewers as well, just so everyone can see your really great questions that come through. We'll probably, as we go through the presentation, we'll answer a lot of those for you as we go through each of our slides, but jump on there and ask anyway. Okay, I think we'll get started. We've got a lot of people on now. Beautiful. So this one here, so the Geneo is actually in over 60 countries around the world, and it's actually kind of promoted as the next generation microdermabrasion. So every day, thousands of Oxygeneo treatments are performed all around the world. It has patented Oxygeneo technology, harnessing the power of oxygen for both the face and body, and it's providing unparalleled skin nourishment and oxygenation. So we've got great pre-programmed settings in this device to really serve you well through all of your skin clinics and your salons around the country. Leah?
Sorry, my clicker doesn't want to click.
There we go.
The Geneo is actually sold in over 6,000 units have been sold around the world, over 1,000 units sold in Canada alone, which is fantastic news for Australia because the Canadian market and the Australian market are very, very similar. And the fact that it's taken off so well in Canada bodes really well for us here in Australia because it is that next generation of microdermabrasion, and the fact that it's such a customizable treatment. It's suited for skin clinics, salons, and even day spas as well. So pretty much every business can benefit from a treatment from the Geneo. So with the Geneo, you get three outstanding technologies. You get your Oxygeneo, you get your tripolar radio frequency for your skin tightening, and you get your ultrasound product infusion as well. The best thing about something like the Geneo is you can use all of these three components to perform the 3-in-1 superfacial, which gives you your exfoliation, your oxygenation, and your product absorption. Also gives you your 3rd generation radio frequency for your non-invasive collagen elastin production and your ultrasound sonophoresis. So this is your product infusion to really get those actives into the skin. These three components can be used all together to perform that signature 3-in-1 superfacial from Geneo, or you can break them down and insert them into your already existing treatment menu as a radio frequency add-on, as a Oxygeneo to replace the exfoliation step in your everyday facials, and the ultrasound product infusion to perfectly finish off any facial treatment. So it's a very, very customizable treatment.
Yeah, 100%. Just to add to that, Leah, we will be going through this at the end, but that just shows on your extra profitability of what this device can actually bring your salons and your clinics by able to splitting these up into 3 separate treatments to add on to that treatment menu as well. So your business development managers are going to be really great at looking at your treatment menu and seeing exactly how you're going to create really great profitability and client results with this device.
So starting to look a little bit more in depth into those 3 components, we're going to start off with the tripolar technology. So the 3rd generation tripolar technology of radio frequency that comes from Pollogen is the world's best non-invasive treatment to boost that collagen elastin production. The RF in all of their technologies throughout Pollogen has different benefits. So you've got your skin tightening. In other systems, you've also got your tri-lipo technology, which targets your fat cells, but it is the safest and most effective way to get those immediate and long-lasting results. So with your radiofrequency technologies, they've come a long way in the last few decades, starting off with your monopolar technologies. This is going back to like the 70s and the 80s. It's got one pole, usually with a receiver pad somewhere placed under the client's leg or shoulder. It's very unpredictable. It can be really painful, and there's a high risk of zapping and discomfort for the client. Graduating then to the second generation, which is your bipolar. This has two poles, your A and B, and it's got a little bit more control to it. There are still a lot of technologies out there that have that bipolar technology for your collagen elastin production. But then comes Geneo with its third generation patented tripolar technology. This is allowing for multiple bands of radio frequency energy to pass through the tissue, gives you so much more control. It is safer and a lot more effective. Those multiple bands of energy coming from multiple poles means not only a greater surface area to be covered, which means you get to temperature a lot quicker, a lot safer. It actually helps prevent any sort of sparking or discomfort for the client, because you've got those multiple bands. So even if one or two electrodes lift off the skin, with that patented tripolar technology of Pollogen, the electrodes have to be in contact with the skin to have some sort of charge to them. So as soon as they lift off, that probe becomes inactive. So there's zero chance of zapping your client, which for a client comfort level is the gold standard. It's right up there. So with the tripolar technology, there is no need for skin cooling. There's those focused electrodes on the skin. You've got that high power density as well to get those longer lasting results. And you've got a perfectly matched tripolar preparation gel. Now, this gel is really, really important because it does have a high electrical resistance and focuses that RF energy deep within the dermis. So you're actually protecting and bypassing the epidermis. So there's no risk of overheating the epidermis. That energy is focused deep within that dermis because of that preparation gel. And it is a medical grade glycerin. So what you're looking at there is a treatment that's suitable for all skin types, all skin colors, treating up to your Fitzpatrick 5, because radio frequency is a blind technology. So it's not going to be attracted to any kind of chromophores or pigments or anything like that. And it does have those preset facial applications, like Julie said at the beginning. So treatment for the face, the neck, the décolletage, and even the hands as well, because we do age on the hands as well. So it does give that, that advanced treatment with a temperature sensor built into that handpiece. So bringing up that safety factor once more is you've got that built-in temperature thermometer in that handpiece that's going to tell you when you get to temperature and give you that indication light on the handpiece, so you know that you've reached that ideal temperature in the skin to get those clinical results that you want. And also it does have a safety mechanism built in there as well, that if you're perhaps hanging around that area a little bit too long and the skin's heating up that little bit too much, it will shut off that RF energy to prevent any sort of unnecessary excess heat trauma to the skin. So you've got a lot of fail safes in there to keep your clients safe and to keep the treatment really effective as well.
Okay, so now we're just going to move into a little demonstration of our treatment here. So we're just going to demonstrate, the RF portion first. So you can see we've got the tripolar gel that Leah was talking about. Now, this tripolar gel is the only one that you can use with this device. We have tested other RF mediums, and they haven't been very effective. They either take too long to heat up the tissue in the skin. It doesn't conduct that electrical current that we need. So please only use the tripolar gel. You do only need the smallest amount. And if you could see what I was doing there, you only need a pea size per area. So we use 3 pea sizes in total. So one for one side of the cheek, the other side of the cheek, and then the other piece size will be the forehead, and a little bit of that then spread to the chin. So a very small amount. If you have too much product on, it won't allow that RF technology to penetrate into the skin. And if you don't have enough, again, it's not going to work effectively. So just those very small amounts is all you're going to need. The machine is really easy to use. There's all your preset options in there. So you just have to follow all of your preset options. When you're ready to go, you press play on the device, and then you also turn the handpiece on. There's a little button on the handpiece there. So you can see that we've got like a greeny blue light at the moment. And we want to start off in really small figure of 8 motions. We always start along that jawline there. Don't start on the forehead because it just doesn't heat up as effectively, and it takes too long sometimes because it's a bit more bony. So always start on that jawline, and you want to do really small figure of 8s until we're up to temperature. Now, it's really important for that figure of 8s, or you could do small circles, but don't do lines at all, because a line has a start and an end point. And even though it is a really quick end point, that heat can build up in that area just for a little bit too long, and it can be a little bit more painful and not as comfortable for your client. If you're doing a figure of 8, or if you are doing a circle, there is no end point, so you don't get that buildup of heat on the skin. So this initial bit here can take a couple or about a minute to warm up. Once you've reached temperature, you'll see, if you're looking at that handpiece, that will turn orange. And that orange light is the indicator that, and you can see that just flashed on there, that indicator light means we are at the correct temperature. Once we get to that, we can then start to make our area bigger. So we will always keep going back to this area, but we will then enlarge in the area and add extra parts of it to the face. Once we've done that, we'll basically have that orange light on the whole time. And that's what we want to see. We want to see that orange light stay on for pretty much the majority of the time, because we need at least 4 minutes of homogeneous heating to get our clinical results. So we can't just spend a minute here and then move on. We need to get to temperature and then spend about 4 minutes on each area as a whole, just going back and incorporating that whole area. So once we've done that, and that will take about 6.5 to 7 minutes on each side, building to temperature and then maintaining that temperature. Once we've done that, we can move on to the other side of the face. Once we've done that for about 7 minutes, then we'll move on to the forehead and keep going with those same amount of times. Really make sure that you are heating all areas really effectively. We want to make sure that we are getting that full collagen stimulation, that wound healing response that we need, and we're not going to get that if we just rush over and only spend a couple of minutes. When you're doing this as well, you can incorporate the eye at the same time, but you can go back afterwards and just focus just on that eye area. It's really important that when you are doing that, that you pull down the skin and only work on the orbital bone. Don't work in the socket. When you're wanting to do the eye above, just lift up and do above the eyebrow. We don't want to go overhead, okay? Just make sure as well you've got enough gel. If you feel like the skin has absorbed it, you may need to go back and put a little bit more, but you'll find it will give you enough slip and glide. Again, just going back over what Leah said, is you can't cause any damage. So if you are spending too long in that one spot and you are not doing your nice circular motions or figure of 8 motions, or you hover in the one spot and you build up with too much heat, the built-in thermometer in that device will automatically shut off. It will change color, it will give a little vibration so you know to move on, and it will cut off that RF energy. So it's a very safe and user-friendly device. The heat that it does build up in the skin is really quite comfortable as well. It's just that beautiful warming heat. It's not anything that's painful or anything that's uncomfortable on the skin. And if you haven't tried it, definitely give it a go. I've tried a few different RF devices, and this one does heat up really quickly. And the results are amazing. And I know you can't see it here. This is my amazing husband that I've used as a guinea pig for this one. But when you do, if you were to do half of the face and then sit the client up, you will definitely see that whole face lifted. And we've done that a lot with a lot of our playing around in demos with the device. Do one side of the face, give the client a mirror and sit them up, and you will see the difference in that skin. So I think I've talked a lot on that RF. Hopefully I've covered everything. Have I missed anything else?
No, that was awesome, Jess.
No?
I think it's, I think as clinic owners, if you're on here, it's just gives you that peace of mind that it is completely safe, that it does have that built-in thermometer and it will shut off if you get too much heat in one area. So that's definitely something that the clinics I've been talking to that are in my territory have been really, really impressed with. And they just absolutely love that safety feature of it. And it is a really comfortable treatment. I really love it. I've had so many questions of what does the RF feel like? And it's really comfortable. It's actually really, really relaxing. And it's really therapeutic from a therapist perspective as well. And yeah, as Jess said, you get to that heat point really, really quickly with it too. So I've been super impressed with a couple of demonstrations that I've done with the device.
Yeah, the best way that I can describe the feeling of getting this RF treatment done, it's like getting a mini hot stone massage on your face. Like I've had clients.
That's a good way of describing it.
It is. It's like a little hot stone massage for your face. It's so relaxing and so warming. And even though you are heating up the temperature of the skin to about 38 degrees, it feels really comfortable. And I've actually had clients fall asleep while having this treatment done because it's that relaxing.
Yeah. And remember, this can be done as a standalone. So it doesn't have to be done part of this. You can add this onto any treatment or service that you offer. And then you can also do this just as an RF standalone treatment. And that lifting effect immediately is amazing.
Yeah, you definitely want to take a picture of your client when they're on the bed, when you've done that half, like even if you've sat them up and showed them it, it's so good for your social media to be able to show that immediate effect of your RF on one side in comparison to the other. That's what we've been doing in the demonstrations I've done so far, and it's been really great to see. Excellent. I want to talk you through now our Geneo treatment advantages. So this is the next handpiece that you actually use within your 3-in-1 superfacial. So we're only using natural oxygenation from within. It's going to replenish our skin cell metabolism, and it simultaneously provides a 3-in-1 oxygenation, exfoliation, and absorption in just one short effective procedure. We get optimal cleansing and exfoliation. It enhances absorption of active ingredients, and it has superior active nourishment in there as well. And I think it's really great to note that we are actually working with the oxygen within our skin rather than the other devices out there that are really promoting the oxygen from the outside in. So actually putting the oxygen onto the skin. So this is what we call the Bohr effect. So we are using on this handpiece a pod that goes on to the handpiece on the right hand side of the last slide that we did have. The pod goes on there. We apply the gel onto the skin, and what actually happens is that Bohr effect happens as the pod and the gel react together. So what that does, it creates these tiny little CO2 bubbles on our skin. And what the Bohr effect is that those CO2 bubbles actually create a signal within our skin that our hemoglobin, can't say that word properly today, brings that oxygenation to where that CO2 bubbles are. So we're actually providing the oxygenation from within. So it's a natural process that was founded by Christian Bohr in 1904, and our Geneo treatment allows that to happen. So if we can go to the next slide, Jess, you can see here that as we start to use that pod on the face, you're getting that that exfoliation effect. And as we create those CO2 bubbles, it's bringing all of that oxygen from the inside up to the surface of our skin. That's going to allow for better product penetration. It's going to clear out all of our pores. It's going to minimize pore size. It's going to brighten our skin as well. So you get such amazing immediate effects from that Bohr effect, actually oxygenating our skin from within rather than a targeted treatment from oxygenating the outside of the skin. So it's a natural process that your body does, and it happens really amazingly with our Geneo. So go to the next one. So next we're going to talk through our oxypods. So I'm going to get Leah to help me with this as well. And I know you're amazing and how much you love these, Leah. So me and you will chat through these.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the slide said it itself. They are little balls of wonder. The active ingredients in these oxypods, they do sit in a suspended state. So each oxypod has sodium bicarbonate and citric acid, and is only activated when it comes into the nutrient-rich gels that sit on the client's skin. So each treatment has the oxypod that sits on the handpiece and the gel that sits on the client's skin. And it's that chemical reaction that happens between that sodium bicarbonate oxypod and the gel that creates those CO2 bubbles and initiates the Bohr effect in the skin. And these oxypods, they do sit in a suspended state until they come into contact with those gels. So it does, it basically gives the active ingredients, they last a lot longer and the treatment's a lot more effective. So with the Oxygeneo treatment, you do have a couple of different options with regards to those, the treatments that you can offer. They come with different kits. So the Neo Revive offers the skin rejuvenation. So this is for more of your aged skins. You've got your Neo Bright kit, which is for perhaps your pigmented or your uneven skin tones. And then you've got your Oxy Balance, which is for more your congested skins. And they are completely customized. Each kit contains 6 oxypods and 6 gel packs, giving you 6 full treatments. And the number of treatments that you can have with these pods compared to what the income it can bring into your salon for your return on investment is something that Julie will go into in a bit more detail a bit later in the presentation. But it really is a high price point for your business to bring in that extra income as well. So going on to the 3 targeted concerns, like I said, you've got your Oxy Balance, which has your activated charcoal in it for your oilier and your acne prone skins. Your Neo Revive utilizes the red algae for your anti-aging benefits, and then your Neo Bright with your vitamin C for your dull and pigmented skin tones.
We might give them a little bit extra ingredient knowledge in there too, Jess, just before we move on to that next slide. So we spoke about, as Leah said, with your Oxy Balance, you do have your bamboo charcoal in there, but you've got your camu and your oligopeptide 10. So if anyone is an image stockist of ours, you would have heard your oligopeptide 10 a lot from us. So that's really great to see those in there. So that's going to balance and mattify oily skins. It's going to clear toxins and bacteria. And it also nearly eliminates the need for the extractions as well. So I really, really love that. And we actually saw that with Jess's husband when we've used him twice for a demo now, Jess.
We have now.
We really saw that in
and
our
I think
demo.
I used the Oxy Balance on him both times, and that drawing out of impurities and the blackhead, minimizing that was just incredible. There was absolutely zero need for extractions afterwards. It was amazing for doing that. So you do get those extra benefits. And then obviously with that exfoliation process as well, with the Oxypod head, it definitely helps reduce that. So not only just if you have blackheads, but just uneven skin, open pores, all of that are going to help to be reduced as well.
Yeah. Perfect. Your Neo Revive, so we've got hyaluronic acid in there, so it's really going to help with the plumpness of the skin, increasing the hydration and reducing any moisture loss within the skin. It does have your vitamin A component of your retinol in there, and it's also got a tripeptide 5. So really, really great ingredients in there, and that's going to provide anti-wrinkling effect. It's going to be plumping, it's going to be firming. So we absolutely love this one as well. And then with your Neo Bright, we have your vitamin C in here. We have got your kojic acid, and your hyaluronic acid is in that one as well. So that is awesome to see in your Neo Bright. So that's going to be great for your pigmented, your uneven skin tone, all of those areas there. I'm sorry, I actually think I said that the wrong. No, I didn't. I gave it the right way around. Sorry, I thought I said those the wrong way, but we've got that right. So it's got your vitamin C, your kojic acid, your hyaluronic, and your retinol in your Neo Bright. Beautiful. We can move on to the next one, Jess. So we've got here that it's got immediate and significant results. So it's really visible just after one treatment. So I've done, as I said before, a couple of demos with this device already, and everyone has been super impressed with the immediate results. So being able to take that before and immediately after for your social media exposure, and also to showcase those results to your clients right away. They're really going to notice the difference. It's a very soothing, very relaxing treatment. You're going to get that natural skin oxygenation from within with that Bohr effect that I talked about before. We're going to have the infusion of natural and powerful active ingredients into the skin, and we're going to get long-term skin texture and appearance improvement with this too. It's supported by real science and medical studies. It is suitable for all skin types. We can treat both face and body, as Leah said before. Never ever tested on animals. We've got vegan ingredients, and the best part about it is no downtime. So we're going to be talking about this a little bit later in regards to your marketing, but you can have a course of 6 of this, but you can have it immediately before a special event like weddings, reunions, anything like that. So we have actually created marketing around your bridal packages, and being able to have that treatment right before your wedding is, I think, Leah, you always say it's like the ultimate primer for the skin before makeup.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the absolute world's best primer. It's that instant plumping and smoothing of all of those fine lines, that instant hydration that you get, that if your client has this treatment done the day before an event, they put their makeup on the next day, and it's an absolute game changer as to the result that you get from a makeup application. It's so smooth, and it provides the perfect canvas.
I'm going to add as well, I did this treatment on myself, and then the next day I had a webinar, and my skin was so glowing, plump and hydrated that I actually didn't even put any makeup on. I put on my primer, and then I looked at my skin and went, I don't need anything, and did the webinar for the first time ever with no makeup. And my skin looked amazing. I got so many comments after that webinar, and it was purely because of this treatment. So there was no filters, there was no artificial lights added to help. It was just the amazing results of this treatment after one treatment the next day. So that's how amazing this treatment is.
Yeah, the treatments are fantastic the next day, and they're also fantastic for the days after as well. I remember I had a treatment done at the beginning of the week. I saw my sister at the end of the week. We had lunch, and my skin was still so plump and so smooth and so hydrated. My sister was actually convinced that I had fillers and Botox done, that my skin was that plump. She was looking at me and she's like, "You've had fillers, haven't you?" And I'm like, "No, I've just had a Geneo treatment." So those effects do last for about a week, depending. Everyone's going to be a little bit different, but they do last for days after the treatment as well. So that instant result and that lasting result, it carries on.
Okay, so I'm going to talk you through the next part of our video now, if it wants to play, which it doesn't. So give me a sec. I don't know what, there we go. So we always need to make sure we start with a really nice clean skin, especially if we put that tripolar gel on. We want to make sure we've removed that tripolar gel really effectively. I like to just tissue off any excess residue of it, and then either do 1 cleanse or 2 cleanse depending on the skin, but double cleanse is always fantastic. So you can just see here that I'm just thoroughly cleansing the skin. You want to just make sure you're using quite a neutral cleanser. We don't need anything that is too strong or too active, because the treatment is quite effective and active all by itself. So we don't need to put any acids or anything on. So just a nice gentle exfoliation on here. And I do cleanse for a little while, so I don't know if I can skip part of this video, but that's okay. So when we're looking at our different oxypods, you will notice that the oxypods are slightly different. We have our Neo Bright and our Neo Revive. They just come with the pod and the one gel. And that one gel you're going to use for the beginning of the treatment and the end of the treatment, but it is a very big, generous sachet. You will have lots left over, so don't be too worried. And then your balance, they come 2 separate. So you can see here I'm using the balance. So we have our pod that is individually, they're all individually wrapped. And what we're going to do is we're going to attach that to our Geneo handpiece, our pod handpiece. So we just clip it on and it just clicks in. And then we always love to reuse here, which is always amazing. We keep that little container, and then we open up our serum, and we're going to pour the serum into there. And that just makes it for a really nice, easy application. When I do use this serum, I still like to leave a little bit left over, just in case my skin absorbs it. Because if you're not using and don't have enough of the serum, then you can't get the pod to activate. So it's really important that we have that really good balance. So keep a little bit of the serum to the side. So if you do feel like it's drying out in one little point, you can add. I didn't need to in this treatment, but it's always good just to have that there just in case. So once we've put all of that in, we then take our little Pollogen brush and we apply it nice and evenly to the skin in a generous amount. So it is quite a thick amount that we apply to the skin. And we apply it all over. You can go down the neck as well. You'll even have enough if you did want to do the décolletage as well, or you can keep it just combined to the face and the neck. When we are doing these treatments, and especially with our RF and our ultrasound, we do want to avoid that thyroid area. So that's something I did forget to mention earlier, but we don't want to use any of those RF or the ultrasound technologies over the thyroid area. With the Oxypod, just be really gentle and not to press too hard. So when we've done a nice even application of this product, we then go back into our options on our interface. And again, we're just using all preset options on here. There is a couple of little customized programs that you can go in and play around with as well. But otherwise, all of the preset options work nice and easy and they're quite user-friendly. So when we do our balance will run for 5 minutes. If we use our Neo Bright and our Neo Revive, these run for 8 minutes. So we just need to give that a little bit longer on the skin. Now, as I start this treatment, because once that pod starts to break down and we get that interaction with the gel, it can feel a little quite abrasive. And that's what we want. We want that really good exfoliation process on the skin. So because we don't want to be too rough around those delicate areas, such as the eye area, what we're going to do is we're going to start on that area first before that pod has had too much time to break down. So, and then I'll show you a little tip at the end of how we can go back to those areas and target them. So you can see that I'm just going all over. It's a really quick treatment. It's not slow like the RF. And I work alongside the nose and the eye area where it's being a little bit more gentle to start with. And then as it gets more abrasive, I will kind of avoid that eye area too much and we'll go back to it. So you'll see that interaction, you can see that those bubbles are forming. It looks a little bit foamy as well. And that's the reaction from the pod with the sodium bicarbonate and the citric acid reacting with those ingredients in the gel. And that reaction is causing that Bohr effect. Those CO2 bubbles are forming on that skin. And we're then getting, you will be able to, I don't know if you can see too well, but when you're doing the treatment, you get a lot of erythema. And that's that blood supply rushing up to the skin and being full of oxygen and then oxygenating those cells from within. And that's that really crucial point. You want to see that bubbles. If you don't have those bubbles on the skin, you need more gel. Okay, so it's really important to see those bubbles working on the skin. And you can see this charcoal is breaking down. Some of the pods are white and some of them, this one's charcoal, but no matter which one you're using, you'll see and hear those bubbles popping all over the skin. And you can see that pod breaks down quite quickly. So it's quite a quick treatment, 5 minutes for the full face. And then it does come off really easily. I know when I first did this treatment, I was a little bit scared that it was going to stain everything, but it doesn't. It washes straight off, it wipes away. So white towels, there's no issue at all with this product. Now, when I removed the product off the skin, what I did notice was that the skin was just instantly plumped. It was hydrated, it was glowing, it was full of life. The pores were reduced in size, the blackheads were gone. Especially being a male, they have the big buildup of blackheads along their nose as well, and they were all completely gone. My husband has quite deep lines on his forehead. They were also plumped out as well. So definitely incredible treatment with instant results. Girls, do you have anything to add on that?
No, not really. I just think it's such a good treatment to see, and you can't really see it from this video, but you can literally see the little bubbles coming up on the skin as you're doing it. So it's such a satisfying treatment to be able to perform for your team and for yourself as well. And then being able to, as I said before, see those immediate results right away is absolutely incredible to have from this device. So it can be used for events as well as treatment packages.
So there has just been a question that it can feel really stingy and biting, and depending on the sensitivity in your skin as well. If you don't have enough gel, you need to have that good balance and of the gel to the pod. As they also pushed a little bit too hard, it might be a little bit more bitey. But if you just move around quickly, it does feel, if anyone is familiar with our O2 treatment, like those bubbles prickling on the skin. Remember, you've got that interaction of that bicarb and the citric acid, which can be quite stimulating. But then we're also getting that blood flow that's happening as well. So that is just that whole process of that oxygenation working. So it can feel a little bit stinging, but it only lasts for 5 minutes. So it's not something that is too uncomfortable, but it's not stingy like a peel. It's just stingy as in tingly and stimulating, like sometimes little ants prickling on your skin is how I sort of feel that it is. Now, while I was just talking about that, what I did was at the end of my 5 minutes is I held my pod without it turned on, and I just pressed just around areas of extra concern. So if there's any extra areas of blackheads or lines, fine lines around the eyes, you can do it along the mouth as well. And you can just hold and press. As long as you've got enough gel and you're pressing, that bubble action is taking effect, and that's what you want. Once you finish with this, with the whole 5 minutes, I actually just let it sit on the skin for a couple of minutes or about a minute. If you can still see them and hear the bubbles, it's still working. So if there's no more bubbling action, then you know you're fine to remove it. But if you can still see and hear it, leave it on the skin, let it work that little bit longer into the skin. Now I'm just removing this with water and sponges. There's no cleanser, and it came off really easily within just a couple of wipes of the face. So it is very easy to remove. Now, if you did want to combine an LED treatment with this one as well, after I've removed this part, this is when I would put my LED on. So we've done a nice exfoliation. We've got no actives on the skin at the moment because we've just removed them. So we would do our LED, and then we would finish with our ultrasound. So I think we're going to move into the ultrasound now.
Amazing. So the ultrasound, the sonophoresis handpiece is the final component and the final handpiece of the Geneo system. So what you're looking at here is your sonophoresis. It's your ultrasonic facial handpiece, utilizing high frequency ultrasonic vibrations to stimulate the cells of the skin and make them a little bit more permeable to allow for that better product penetration. So the stratum corneum offers maximum resistance as a barrier to protect your skin. So what this does is it just loosens that up a little bit through those ultrasound waves, and it reduces the density of the skin layers, allowing for small channels to open and small spaces to open between the cells to allow for that product absorption and those active ingredients applied deeper in the skin. I always sort of compare ultrasound to a sieve filled with flour. So you've got your sieve, you pop your flour in. If you hold it still, nothing really happens. The flour just sits there. As soon as you add a little bit of a vibration, you do get the flour falling through that sieve. So the sonophoresis works in a similar way to the skin cells. It just allows those little vibrations for that permeability of those cells for the product to penetrate a little bit deeper. And not only does it help with your product penetration, but it also helps increase things like your lymphatic drainage. So it does provide that little bit of detoxification, and the microcirculation for your cellular metabolism is also increased as well. And you do get that improved moisture retention, because we all know if the product sits on the skin, 90% of it does evaporate, and that only that 10% is absorbed into that skin. Whereas with your ultrasound, you don't get any of that evaporation on the skin is very, very minimal, because you have used that ultrasound to penetrate it deeper into the skin cell. So it's a lot more effective, and it's a beautiful way to finish the treatment too. It does have a very, very slight warming effect on the skin, nothing compared to the radio frequency, but it does provide that little warm massage. It's completely painless, it's non-invasive at all. It's really gentle and just a beautiful way to finish off the treatment.
Okay, so we're going to go into our last video here. So when we do our ultrasound handpiece, we do need to remove our RF handpiece first. We keep our Geneo handpiece in. So remove the RF and then put your ultrasound handpiece in. We then take our serum in the balance pod and we apply this to the skin. Or if you are using your Neo Bright and your Revive, then you will take the rest of your primer gel from that and then put it on. Like I said, there is so much product in these that you will have so much left over. So don't be worried that it's a little sachet that you're not going to have enough. There is a lot of product left over in these. So apply this in a nice even layer to the skin. It doesn't have to be too thick, but you do need enough product on. If there's not enough product on, you'll get a warning indicator light on your ultrasound that it is too dry and it does need extra. So there's so many little different safety features, takes all the guesswork out for you so you know what to do at all times. So all we do is we hit our ultrasound button on the system. It always registers what handpiece is in. So you can't turn the wrong handpiece on. It knows exactly what you're doing. Once you've put that on, you'll press play in the machine, have it in contact with the skin and in slight circular motions just to start and know that the treatment's going to start, and then press play on the button on your handpiece. Make sure it is flush to the skin at all times. And we just want to go around in nice circular motions. Doesn't have to be too quick or too slow, but just nice and relaxing motions all the way around until it's fully penetrated. And you can do this for up to 6 minutes. Every time with all of these machines, at the 1 minute before the treatment's ending, it always gives you a sound warning. So that way you know that it is almost over as well. So after we've done that for 6 minutes, we've gone all the way around. I've now got my massage head on. So they come with these little plastic massage heads. And this is an optional part. You don't have to do this, but it's just a beautiful way to end the treatment. And so this massage head, you'll still have that serum onto the skin, and you just go away and it does just like this little vibration massage. And it just sort of finishes the treatment, stimulates the cells. And it's just a nice way to say, this is the closing of the treatment. Now, I didn't do it in this video, but it's really nice if you press it down your chakra line. So if you just hold it and press it in, count to 3 and go all the way down, that's a beautiful way to finish. And we would do that at the very end and not go from the head to the face. And that's just a really nice way to signal the treatment is done. But again, it's an optional choice. You can choose to do it or not to do it and play around. And that's the reason why we also only remove the RF handpiece and not the Geneo handpiece as well. Okay, I love before and afters. I know we all love before and afters. So the girl's going to talk us through all these before and afters. We got some amazing ones.
Yeah, I'm going to let you go first because I know this is one of your favorite ones to talk about.
It is. I absolutely love a magnified shot, especially when it's of the skin. So this is an immediate magnification after the Oxygeneo treatment. So in the before, you can see that the skin is kind of like crepe paper. You can see that there's hairs buried under the skin. It's very dry. You've got a lot of lines and wrinkles there. Immediately after one treatment of the Oxygeneo, you can see the skin is so much smoother. The fine lines and the wrinkles have completely gone. It's as if it's as if it's completely different skin. And the most noticeable thing is not only the skin texture and the hydration, but also those hairs that were stuck under the skin, those ingrowns have come out onto the surface. So this is a fantastic treatment, especially for men that shave and perhaps get that irritation from those ingrowns in their beard or down their neck. It's really going to help bring all those hairs out, really soothe and hydrate the skin. And you can just see the quality of the skin and the health of the skin is so much better just after that one treatment.
Here we've got one around focusing more around the eyes. So you can see here we've not only got an improvement in the lines, they're not as deep anymore, they're much less apparent, but we've actually been able to improve the eyelid folds as well. So they have actually decreased those eyelid folds just with an Oxygeneo treatment. So I really, really love this one and the fact that you can get a result on the entire eye area by doing the 3-in-1 superfacial. So improvement in crow's feet, improvement in those eyelid folds, and much less deeper lines around the eyes as well.
This one just looks like she's had a facelift.
Yeah,
Like
this is one treatment.
After one treatment, those lines and the wrinkles around the jawline, around the mouth, and even down onto the neck as well, it's like it's a completely different person. And this is just immediately after one treatment. So imagine the results after you've offered a course of 6 combined with the RF as well. And this is just the Oxygeneo. This is just the exfoliation and oxygenation of the skin. So it's a fantastic transformation. Yeah.
This is another one, another from the fine line reduction, I guess, point of view. We've got reduction in crow's feet again. We've got a reduction in those eye folds and reduction of folds under those eye areas as well. So we know that the eyes are a big concern for a lot of our clients that are coming into salon or clinic, and being able to show these before and afters of the Oxygeneo just after that one treatment is absolutely phenomenal. From sitting down and working at a treatment plan to be able to use that on your social medias to promote what one treatment can actually do around the eye area from the Oxygeneo.
This is amazing. Look at the texture and the tone of the skin.
The texture and the tone of the skin. So this is one, was this one paired with some of the image products as well?
Yes, so it's paired with the Max Stem Cell Neck Lift, the Contour Gel Cream, and our Wrinkle Smoother. So they're 2 of our newer products from the Max line. So that's just one Geneo treatment along with that home care that's given us such a really great, amazing results as well. So the Wrinkle Smoother and image kind of is going from here up the way, and then your Contour Cream kind of works from that nose down the way to be able to lift them from that skin. So really great result combining the Oxygeneo with image skincare.
Look at those lines. They're so reduced. And the redness in her cheek as well.
Yeah.
That has just completely dispersed.
And lines up around the forehead as well. Amazing.
Yeah, and around the mouth as well, you can see that marionette line has really, really decreased from that plumping effect around her mouth, around the corner of her mouth there.
Just imagine what a series would do and the long-term effects once they've kicked in. That would be phenomenal.
Yeah. This one's incredible. Just look at the hydration and the immediate plumping and the polish on her skin. Forget the wrinkles for one second. Just look at the health of her skin. The wrinkles are a bonus effect to this, because yes, obviously it's a huge wrinkle decrease in those crow's feet and those lines around the eyes, but I just get really focused on the glow and just the general health of her skin as well.
Yeah, so you can imagine this one for those states that are in lockdown and we've maybe not been as healthy with our diet and things like that. We've maybe been comfort eating, and that will really start to show through in the skin, because we know the skin's that largest organ. So imagine starting to promote this when you've got a date for coming out and being able to do treatments again. Clients are going to be longing for this glowing skin, and you're going to be able to achieve that for them and showcase results before you even reopen.
And just adding to that, so with all of us having to do mask wearing at the moment, we are so oxygen deprived under that mask. And to offer this treatment to oxygenate the skin, you're going to see those amazing differences in the skin. So definitely coming out of lockdown, or even for those states who aren't in lockdown but still have to wear a mask, this is that perfect treatment to be able to offer them to reoxygenate their skin.
Yeah, 100%.
This one's my favorite, I have to say. This one is my absolute favorite before and after. Just look at that result in those crow's feet and her eyelid alone. Now remember, we don't actually go over the eye at all with this Oxygeneo treatment, but that plumping effect does plump out the skin so much that it actually affects the entire eye. Like that eyelid fold is completely gone. Those crow's feet completely gone under her eye, the glow and the plumpness of her skin. It's just amazing. It looks like a before and after photo of an eye lift surgery, not a non-invasive oxygenation treatment.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, my little clicker doesn't want to click anymore. There we go. Just keeps freezing every now and then. And I know there are some, sorry, I was just checking all the questions. There are some questions. We will come to them at the end. So don't worry, all questions will be answered.
Beautiful. I really love this one, being able to see that side by side before and after. As I said, the treatment that I did a few weeks ago with one of our accounts here in Queensland, we actually took this picture for the client when she was on the bed when we'd done half of her face. And she was just blown away by that result and being able to show that side by side. Absolutely love it. And that glow, the cheeks, look at that plumping of the cheeks and that lifting of that eye area as well. It's just unbelievable after one treatment.
Now, this is always good to see that sort of series after, before, then one treatment, and then after your full clinical amount of treatments. You can see even the cheeks, how hollow they were to start with and how much they've filled out from stimulating that collagen, especially even with that RF technology. That's an amazing one. We've also lifted up the skin immensely, the overall texture and tone as well as improved. So you can, like, it's great to see not only those immediate results, but those long-term effects that we can have for our clients.
The effect on her neck alone is just absolutely incredible after those 6 treatments.
Yeah, and you imagine you put in the neck lift with that from Image Skincare as well, as your home care backup in between those weekly treatments would be amazing. Okay, so let's chat about now, what do our customers want? So they're really looking for a non-invasive treatment to give that instant long-lasting results. And that really is our Geneo and what it can provide. Okay, so gone are the days where clients just come in for a treatment and leave. It really is all about creating that ultimate experience. And what I have found when I've gone in with the Geneo to my clinics and showcase this device, the interaction, the fact it's got videos on there that you can showcase to client if the device isn't being used in treatments. You can have your videos playing of the actual treatment, of the technologies, everything like that. It's really, really great. And your therapist will be able to explain the treatment really well to your clients, and your clients will be taken on that journey at the same time to know exactly why we're able to get such amazing results from the Geneo, from that first treatment right through to their course, especially in that lead up to the event. So we're just creating that amazing experience, and it's targeting the 3 greatest skin concerns that my salon and clinic operators tell me is all the time. It's aging. It's all about those fine lines, wrinkles, texture. For here in Queensland, pigmentation is a massive one that we're treating, and breakout prone skin. So we can treat those 3 major concerns. We're walking through our door with this amazing device, and we're saying it is your ultimate profit center. So your Geneo is a once a week 3-in-1 super facial. You can have it as a standalone RF treatment. And you can also do it as an upgrade to your treatments for RF as well. And people are paying lots of money out there in the industry to be able to have that lifting, firming, and that RF effect on their skin. You've got your ultrasound as an add-on. It's going to increase the average spend of your clients and increase the frequency of your visits. Because if we look at everything else we've got around our Geneo treatment here, your fillers, they're every 3 to 12 months that they will revisit for this. Surgical procedures, they're usually multiple years apart. Retail products are probably purchased every 1 to 2 months. Laser and IPL every 1 to 5 years, and your injectables are every 4 to 6 months as well. So you're investing in a piece of equipment. It's going to bring you that return on investment, but as we say, increasing that client visit so that you're exposing them to more things. If you've got other new treatments or new product launches, which we know Image are amazing at every year, they bring out new products every year. We're bringing them in on a more regular basis so we can build that beautiful relationship with our clients, and they are experiencing more and more as they come in, not just with the Geneo, but they might cross over to your other services or your other add-ons to treatments as well. So it's going to give you that lucrative return on investment and high gross profit margin as well. So we were talking about this on Friday when we were planning our webinar with you all today, and I was looking at eventing. So I've actually just come back from a trip up in Mackay where I've done a couple of really great events. I had an Image event and a Dermalux event up there, and I was working out with the investment in your Geneo. We'd be looking at about 18 packages and a VIP event sold will bring you that return on investment in your device. Or if you have our Dermalux Compact or MD and you're running a light lounge rather than over a treatment bed, that would only be about 13 treatments. So have a think about it. Think about your VIPs that are on your database right now. How many of them would absolutely love to have a package of these treatments and see these amazing results that we've just showcased in before and after? I know lots of my clinics know they could easily get 13, if not 18, if not more packages sold in one launch event. Now, you could do this obviously online, but when you reopen, launch events will be amazing, and you could partner that with online if you've got number restrictions. We're a little bit luckier here in Queensland. We do have a little bit of restrictions, and we just broke it down into 1 hour sections when I did my LED event last week. So you could do that same thing. So you're having more one-on-one interactions with all of your clients. You're really getting into the nitty gritty of what they're looking to achieve and showcasing that you have got this 3-in-1 superfacial that's going to provide them that result that they're actually looking for. On to the next one. Beautiful. We've also got an amazing marketing package to support your launch. Now, I know all of you that are on here are already partnered with PBS, know how amazing our marketing team are. You're going to get access to before and afters. You're going to get your treatment menu wording. You're going to get all of your videos that you need, whether that's to showcase on iPads, or I know some of my clinics have TV screens in either treatment rooms or in waiting rooms to be able to showcase, and teaser and launch campaigns. So we're actually going to give you a documentation of how to run through that, what order you need to use things in, and how you'll roll that out. We've got a beautiful bridal campaign, and we've got our VIP campaign as well. So Jess, I think we can go to the next slide and we might be able to see some of those examples. So here are your introductory launch campaign. You have got your social media graphics, so your square ones that will fit into your Facebook and your Instagram, and your downloadable A4 posters. So these are absolutely beautiful. When Jess from marketing showcased these to us a couple of weeks ago, I was blown away at how beautiful they were and how well they've come together. We've got the bridal package. So Leah said before, it's the perfect primer before a makeup application, so the day before, but we can actually create packages for brides. So we know as we come out of this, some poor people have had to change their wedding date several times, have maybe had to postpone or cancel. Bridal packages are really going to be a thing that we can really focus on when everybody's able to reset that date again. So we can put them through that 12-week Geneo bridal treatment plan for amazingly beautiful glowing skin coming up to their big day. We've got your event package as well. So this is all about promoting your either buy 6 get 10% off, or we like to reverse that as well and say that you can receive today's treatment free when you purchase a package of these treatments. So we're really going to assist you in selling through of those packages so we can see the maximum results for your clients. And then your VIP launch, as I said, I love events. I love doing them. I love interacting with all of my clinics and their clients and hearing exactly the concerns they have, and knowing that I have, or my clinics have, the products and the technologies to be able to produce the results they're actually looking for. So we've got here your VIP Geneo launch invitation and your graphic in there as well, all about inviting your clients along to learn all about this incredible new treatment in your clinic and booking in for those series of treatments. So actually layering out that treatment plan is really great for them as well, and pre-booking all of them in, so we know we can see them on that weekly basis and get them that ultimate result. Oh, this one. So it's your complete marketing package. This is valued at $2,500. I'd say it's probably valued even more than that. So we're going to be there to hold your hand, sit down with you, have this plan. You're going to have a document that talks you through everything that's in your share file and ensure that you can hit the ground running with this device and get your return on investment as quick as possible. So that's what I encourage you to do. Reach out to your business development manager, have a chat to them, and they will sit down and look at what you currently do in your menu, what your niche is, what your market is, and showcase to you how incredible this device can be, not only for profitability side of things for your business, but those ultimate client results. Leah, do you want to go through the summary for me?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you've got with the Geneo system is that natural oxygenation from within. Remember, Pollogen only creates technologies that work with the body's natural processes, not against them. So we're not using external oxygen. We're using the body's own natural production of oxygen with that Bohr effect in that 3-in-1 oxygenation, exfoliation, and absorption. You've got your Oxypod, which is your innovative technology in a capsule. Your immediate and your long-term results, which means you get that immediate result for that patient satisfaction right after the treatment, but then the ongoing results as well through that oxygenation and the RF. You've got a lot of peer-reviewed papers. We've got clinical papers coming out of the wazoo. So if you do want those technical specifications and those clinical papers to read through, we can actually provide you with those too if you want to see the technology in a little bit more detail. And you've got your ultimate facial with your tripolar, your Oxygeneo, and your ultrasound. So, and remember, this treatment is non-invasive. It's incredibly safe to do. You've got that temperature sensor in that RF so that there is no risk to any sort of adverse reactions or burns or anything like that. And it's profitable. That is the key word here. It is such a profitable treatment. You can break these treatments down, insert them as add-ons. You've got a quick ROI and you've got lots of treatment options as well. So every business can benefit from this, whether you're just an everyday beauty salon and just want to up your facials. If you're a skin clinic and want to provide those clinical results, you've checked the box as well, and day spas as well. So it is such a relaxing and beautiful treatment that it can fit into any business in the industry.
Absolutely, I totally agree. Do you want to go through the questions, Jess?
Yeah, so we'll just go through the questions. There are quite a few, so if we don't get to all of them, we will respond to you guys individually with that. Some of the questions are, can we do this on a rosacea skin, especially on the cheek area? So with a rosacea skin, you do still want to be very cautious. I would probably avoid a rosacea skin. It could be too reactive. However, if they do just have a few broken capillaries on the cheek and around the nose, that's completely fine to do. Remember, if the area is really sensitive and fragile, remember I showed you at the end, you can just press the pod on without having to do that abrasive exfoliation with going in circles. So you've got that flexibility to be able to adjust your treatment plan depending on what the client's skin is. But if it is a true rosacea skin, I would definitely avoid it, especially with the Oxypod component. However, remember the ultrasound. You don't just have to do the ultrasound with the Oxypod system and the gel. You can do it with any of your skincare that you have in your clinic. So if you have a calming serum or something that you want, and even a mask that you put on for rosacea to calm, soothe, and repair the skin, definitely go ahead and put that onto the skin and then use the ultrasound over the top. This is also available for you to use within your standard treatments as well as the Oxygeneo treatment. If you guys have anything else to add, please do. Otherwise, I'll go through some.
No, that's perfect.
Got it.
Now, can you do a massage with this treatment as well? So yes, you could do a massage with this treatment if you really wanted to, but you probably won't need to. Have a look at the skin, see how much erythema is in the skin and how much we've stimulated it. Engage it on that. Sometimes you have those really tough skins that, you know, you can throw so much at it and it's fine. But if it is, if there's a lot of erythema in the skin, you might not want to. You don't need to, but you can play that by ear as well.
Yeah, you might just want to do like a neck and shoulder massage if you want to add that massage component into that facial. If they're really finding they're holding a lot of tension around there, that's probably what I would suggest.
And then courses, definitely a course of 6 always works really well. Then they can definitely go on to monthly maintenance programs after that. That would work amazing. You can play around with that. You might do it every couple of months. You might break it up alongside other treatments. You might just focus on RF. So again, that would definitely be based on client per client. We will reach out to you individually when if you want to reach out to your business development managers. People are asking for cost per treatments and facial suggestions. We can definitely help you with all of that, but we like to tailor it to sometimes your where you're located, city-based. Always home salons are always completely different, and depending if you're in Queensland to Sydney, so we'll can help you with that one-on-one as well. And then the last question is with thyroid problems and any general heart problems. So generally we won't use machinery, any electrical current. So I wouldn't do the RF and the ultrasound. but you could definitely do the Oxygeneo pod, but also check with the doctor as well. So we always want to refer back to a doctor if there's any medical conditions, but then always any heart problems, definitely no RF or ultrasound. If we haven't answered any of your questions, or you do think of a question later on, what I would do is either reach out to your business development managers, or you can reach out to me at the office as well. I'm more than happy to, my new office from home, more than happy to answer any questions at any time. So either your business development managers, you'll have their email, or mine is education@probeautysolutions.com.au. Thank you so much, ladies.
Yeah, that was really great. I hope everyone enjoyed it and learned more about our new 3-in-1 superfacial. And as Jess said, just make sure you reach out to us if you've got any specific questions around it, and I guess around that cost per treatment and where it's going to sit on your menu and how it can actually really benefit your business really quickly.
Perfect.
Thanks for joining us
again, guys.
Bye.
Bye.